They mysteriously didn't let you know whether or not any of the victims were black. They
They
just let
were.
you know most of them were over 50.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to say their names. So we
Well,
have something else to put in our profiles now on the internet. Say their names. Once again, don't forget about
Like it's
Trayvon
like
Martin.
it's like
Or
1996 all over again. Say my name, say my name.
no one is. I don't even know the rest of the words.
If no one is around you, say baby I love you. Why you running game?
that's it.
No. Yeah, no, I didn't catch much of the story. Just that it happened, and everybody's going nuts. And part
So
of
the kid took his he took his that you're supposed to have a little safety catch to make your magazine non-removable in New York State or whatever, because you're supposed to have a fixed magazine under 10 rounds or else it's an assault weapon. So he took the little safety catch off of it and put a high capacity magazine in it, which is clear and present evidence for the fact that we need to make sure that people can't have high capacity magazines, because when we make sure that they do, it's a little tiny clip that people put on their guns so they can keep their magazine in there and be able to follow the laws without going to jail.
Well, so I'll tell you a couple of things. One, first, Biden was in the Senate when we passed the 1994 Bill Clinton assault rifle ban. He's already said that he's fully behind doing that again. Also, uh, I'm 100% sure that we are quickly heading the same way as Canada, where it's illegal to own a black gun. Black.
A, a black gun?
That is correct. It cannot be
You mean like
black.
African
It
American
has to be
gun?
wood with either a blued or a nickel plated stainless barrel. It cannot be
Oh, like a
black.
44 Magnum? Yeah,
Right.
hell yeah.
The 44 Magnum holds 6 rounds. Actually, it only holds 5. It holds 5 rounds.
Yeah, it's bullets very large.
True. It's also very slow, so you don't get over penetration.
Right, but I could also slap a fucking rosewood handle on a blue-barreled fucking 5.7 and pierce body armor with it with 30 rounds in my magazine too.
Yeah, but you're not allowed to have magazines. They're doing away with that too. It's coming real quick. That is so. This is exactly why I bought
Some may say,
the farm gun that I bought, because it is the farm gun that we bought is assault rifle chambered, but it is bolt action. So I can have as many in the clip as I want, but it's bolt action, so no one will ever come for it. And I know we're on live stream right now, and just so you guys know, I was in a horrific boating accident last week, and I lost all of my guns. It was terrible.
yeah,
They're somewhere at the bottom of Watauga near the dam.
yeah, man, I was there with you. I lost all mine too.
Right.
I can corroborate the story, man.
I think they're gonna have a really hard time getting rid of guys just printing guns with printers. I think they're gonna have an impossibly difficult time with that. I don't think there's any
Um,
reasonable way around it.
not even printers, just anybody with the CNC. I mean, there was a company that was selling, um, what's it called? 80% lowers, or no,
There's
they
hundreds
weren't.
of them.
Yeah, they weren't selling them. What they would do is they would take an order
If you
from
have a
you.
C if you have a CNC machine, you can just fucking program the thing to mill you a 100% lower
Well,
if you
that's
want.
so that's the thing. So what has gone in is they bought the CNC, they started taking orders from people to they'll buy the 80% lower and then they'll put in their CNC and they'll mill it out the rest of the way for you and then send it back. Well, they just got to the point where they were like, no, we're just going to take a block of aluminum and we're going to just start making lowers. And they're like, okay, well,
Yeah, and then you
the
take it home.
80%.
You get a drill press, and then you drill out the parts you need,
Well,
and
no,
then boom, there you go.
yep. So, it's all this kind of crap, and like, it's not just about the printing. It's about people are going to figure out how to do this one way or the other.
People have been
Right.
figuring out for hundreds of years. They have fucking like black iron fucking pipe pistols that people made in prison in fucking like turn of the century.
So
Like
you're
this,
still
you-
allowed a cannon, as big of a cannon as you want to build. They are perfectly legal. And when somebody's like, "Oh man, at the turn of when the country, when the constitutional founders wrote the Constitution, people had black muskets and cannons." It's like, yeah, you can have as many cannons as you want. And what people don't realize is the stuff they loaded with cannons is actually more deadly than what we have in an assault rifle. It's just not as accurate. It's
Also,
more
when the
deadly.
Constitution was written, everybody.
Well, that's a matter of like how you're using it, right? More deadly but less accurate. I mean, me personally, I would say less accurate means less deadly. Depends on what like venue of wartime you're in here. You know what I mean? Like you're shooting into a highly civilized population. If you're less accurate, you're probably more deadly. But I mean, if you're just shooting wildly, randomly, less accurate means less deadly, right?
I mean, that's true unless you have a cannon.
Yeah, a cannon pointed specifically at like a highly populated area. If you're on
Well,
like
mass
some sort of
shootings
fucking
don't happen
backwoods.
in not wildly populated areas.
Otherwise,
Oh,
it'd
we're
just
still
be a
on mass
shooting.
shootings. I thought we were on guns now. Yeah. Well, anything that has more than three casualties, they don't even have to be kills.
Right.
Is a mass shooting. So they've like bumped this down to include like basically every gang violence.
Oh, dude, they're fully calling this one.
You know.
They're fully calling this one domestic terrorism.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, there's been 200 other ones this year, right? But like none of those made the news, right? Why? They weren't massive enough to be mass shootings or something. Or this one just happened at a grocery store and they want to make you afraid to go to the grocery store. Because the last like 3 they've done are in grocery stores, right? You can't even go to get groceries now without being afraid. They do them in schools. Your kids are afraid.
It
Anyhow.
wasn't all black. It was. I mean, don't get me wrong. This guy sought this out. Like, I know that. I'm not pussyfooting around about this. Like, this dude had an agenda.
Yeah, as it appears, but they're quashing any fucking publishing of his manifesto and everything on the internet because
Right.
it's pretty much a false flag. It's, it is what it is. But, I mean, don't get me wrong. People do some shit, but this one stinks a lot of some government-fed bullshit. You know what I mean?
So there was a movie. I don't know if you guys probably didn't see it.
They all do, typically, but...
Well, no, there was a movie about. It had Nick Cannon in it. That's all I remember about who was in it. But basically, they had. It was in a room and these people, and they just kept killing off the people and blah blah blah. And each one was there for a reason, based on their personality. And it turns out that basically it was a facility that bred domestic terrorists. Like, and they just kept like putting you up against tests, and like if you didn't pass the test, you died until there was one person left, and then they had no fear left or something like that, because they'd been through everything, and they're like, ah, fuck it, whatever.
Perfect fucking agent now.
Mm-hmm.
We just watched this movie called Nick of Time. It's got
Johnny Depp.
was it John Depp?
It was Johnny
It
Depp.
was John Depp. Yeah, Jean Depp with with Christopher Walken's the government dude.
Mm-hmm.
Forces Jean Depp into trying to murder the governor because they kidnapped the daughter.
Yep. It's a good
And
movie.
Jean Depp almost goes through with it. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, this is the 90s, right?
Yeah.
People were already thinking about this in the 90s, right? So, like, how long have people been thinking these things, and how wrong have these people been for however many years they've been thinking of these things? Probably not very wrong, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That guy might have shot people in Buffalo, but his motives, his mental state, and basically anything else is up for grabs unless you were, like, there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I view looking at the news, is it's fake. All of it. Nobody's telling you the truth.
No, that's the
Not
way
even
I've kind of.
remotely.
Yeah, you gotta read like 12 different stories and piece together the pieces that are true, because there's a little bit of truth to all of them, but they just exacerbate.
Maybe.
Yeah,
There
and so
might be.
so if you read like 6 stories and all of them have the same like one quote or one fact, it's like, okay, well that was probably said, probably taken out of
You better
context, but
you better like if you're gonna go ahead and read 12 stories, you better read at least 3 from nut jobs. You know what I mean?
okay,
Because BlackRock owns like almost all of fucking mainstream organized news now. So you know,
I'm gonna own them.
including like 25% of the housing in America and all that stuff. So it's not like you're getting the fucking unadulterated fucking facts about anything ever.
Mm,
You know, you're probably better off listening to nut jobs because at least they're doing fucking some due diligence. Typically, as I've found,
yeah.
give you a bunch of reasons why they might not be fucking completely sane, but neither is that guy shooting up a fucking black
No.
church, Walmart, whatever, Troyers.
Grocery store.
What'd you call it? Tops?
Yeah,
It's called
Tops.
Tops.
Yep. It's owned by the same parent company as Bilo, which is all over North Carolina and South Carolina. Um, they are a. I actually think it's a national chain. Like they might even go out west. They just change names by region in order to make
Yeah,
it
a
feel
lot
like
of
it's
people
a
do that.
smaller group. It's not.
Are,
It's a
w-
big chain.
are we sure? Are we sure this kid didn't fucking shoot up Tops because he was a bottom?
Ah, ha, ha, ha,
Ha
ah,
ha ha ha.
ah.
He's just tired of it. He wanted to be a power bottom, but he was too sick and frail to like take control of the top.
So we're on YouTube. Otherwise, I would branch into the "How are you a power bottom?" But we're not going to because we are in fact on YouTube, and you know, generally the algorithm
We might
doesn't
get turned off, right?
right, and not that I'm turned on. Uh, yeah. So, Bill, on another subject, Bill, did you get the directions that I sent you for the route for next weekend?
I did. Oof. I did. They're in my
Yeah.
email. I did not look
You
at
got
them.
a date set for getting a new back tire?
No, I figure because Christy's got to go away. She's not going to be here tomorrow night. I was gonna try and leave work early and drop off the bike tomorrow night.
Oh, there you go. How are
J-
you getting back to your house?
that's the problem.
Uber
I was thinking Uber. The problem
or
is I'll have.
Michael. Just call Michael.
I might be. If I drop it off tomorrow night. If I can get out of work early enough.
So you should be able to, and here's why. Uh, um, Charlotte is leaving directly after work and driving to Florida. So Michael's on his own the whole weekend.
Well, no, it's about whether or not I can get out of work in Bluntville in
Oh
time
my
to
god.
to get
To
home.
make oh yeah, because you're not allowed to ride your motorcycle to work yet. Oh my god. It's on the internet now.
so
Your
so
dad is never gonna let you have a motorcycle when he knows that the market is crashing.
oh, totally, and I've lost $10,000 in 2 weeks.
I don't even I quit looking. Like I'm
Yeah.
not even looking at it. I heard yesterday that the stock market overall lost like 8% yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god.
Yep.
I'm not even gonna look. I don't care.
Yep.
I'm in it for the
I
long
heard
run. I'm
I
not
heard
in
a
it for the short
lot of
run.
rumblings that like 60% is like a soft bottom. 60 total percent's a soft bottom.
Yeah.
And I could basically understand that, cuz like the complete fucking butt fuck of a year we had last year was stupid. We
Well,
basically
so
fucked
I don't
everybody,
think it's
but
gonna be that. I don't think it's gonna be that harsh. I really don't. And the reason I don't think it's gonna be that harsh is mainly housing driven. Even if inflation goes up, people still buy houses. We also have the lowest
yeah, but houses
unemployment.
aren't the stock market either, though. I mean, they are with REITs
Well,
and things like
that's
that, like
true.
ETFs that you can invest in real estate with. But like, the stock market is a completely different thing than that, you know.
It
Right.
drives a lot of
Netflix,
business.
Facebook, all the major tech stocks going down 40+%. You know what I mean? It's like,
Right.
and then you go to start looking at the rest of your portfolio, and you're like, what is a weak asset? And then you realize that like most all the fucking companies that are these big fucking filthy fucking rotten dinosaurs are all weak companies that cannot actually deliver on the fucking promises that their stock price is. And when you're in a time of panic, you fucking flock to safe fucking havens, right? So like a lot of these fucking things are just gonna fucking bottom out, you know. And
Well,
I don't think the
that's a
pain is
big
over. I
reason
don't
for
think the pain is over.
that's a big reason for why I'm not moving any of my money.
Yeah, you're better off just riding it through and just waiting
Yeah.
fucking 5 to 8 more years. You know what I mean? Like, fuck it. You don't need the money right now. You already invested it. Just
If
leave
it's
it
even
there.
that long, because it's hard. I
Right,
mean, it's
if
impossible to tell.
we're in like 3+ year territory with some of this shit now, but you know
No,
Got
3 years.
that the only thing that prevents it from going further is when you do, as a person, decide not to fucking take flight, right? Because as soon as everybody on like a very vague level says, let's take flight, that's when shit really fucking hits the fan, right?
Right.
Because you as like you're not a whale, you're the fucking like natural fucking like baseline of the stock market, right? Like you aren't
Right.
doing this, like you inform movements basically to some degree in the stock market, being the lowest rung, you know.
Right.
So you holding on helps the entire market by having less panic. As like big slow moving companies are like, oh fuck, well, god damn it, we got like 10 dudes doing analytics for this shit all day every fucking day, and this is what they're seeing, and then the fucking bottom drops out. It's already dropped out on a bunch of people, and it's gonna keep going. More people are gonna lose more money, and it has big wide fucking complications for everything, doesn't it? You know what I mean? Like everybody's retirement's in it. Everybody's.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
all insurance companies, the only reason why insurance works is because of the stock market. Everybody has got all their shit tied up into it. So it's a big deal, right? That's why the panic happens. Big old fucking crunch time, you know what I mean?
I've ooh, ow. At this point, what I'm doing is, like, I think we talked about it last week. I'm hedging my bets with dividends. The stock price can do whatever it wants. The reason there's a dividend is because it doesn't really move ever. I'm not going to make $1 million with it. I will eventually be just based on the monthly dividends. They're just going to keep paying me to own the stock every month. And so eventually I'll have enough that when they pay me, it'll be $4 grand a month. And cool.
Right.
Just keep paying me that $4 grand, and when I go to retire, it's just I'm not eating into the principal. I'm just continuing to collect the dividends, and I'll survive that way.
Yeah.
There are some good dividend stocks out there.
There are.
Fairly lucrative ones.
Mhm. I mean, if you want to get into them, they're called dividend champions and dividend kings. One is based on how consistent they pay over like the last 25 years. Like companies like Coca-Cola, that haven't missed a dividend payment in 25 years. They've always paid a dividend. And then
Right.
you've got other ones that
that would be a king, right?
I can't remember
King's
which is which.
long-standing, a champion only fucking has his day in the ring.
Well, no, a champion is one that has shown continual, I think, paid out and shown continual growth. So it gets larger over the course of time.
Mm.
And so you own a mix of those, and suddenly you're making a decent amount. You know?
Right.
I hate the fucking stock market. I think it's a bunch of crooks.
Yeah. But again,
I say this to you guys every week.
because it's in the news. So have you guys heard about Voyager? The
Star Trek
No.
or
the satellite, the spacecraft.
Voyager, like the one they launched in the 80s that should be like well outside the like fucking solar system now.
Yeah, it may finally be dying.
Oh, it's a bummer.
Yeah, apparently the last couple of weeks it's been sending some funky messages back. And they're like, well, project was only supposed to last like 25 years. It's been up there for 45. So I think we did a good job. Like,
Dude,
Right.
maybe it got diddled by an alien or something. That's why it's sending weird messages.
maybe, but I mean, you're talking about stuff from the 40s, or not for the 40s, sorry, the 70s. Actually, no,
Look,
80s.
math is not your strong suit, bud.
Not tonight, man. Not tonight. I am in very much pain still. So, but yeah, you're talking. It's been up there for 45 years. So
yeah,
it's
that's
got.
the one. That's the one they sent the whale sounds on it on the gold fucking LP. with
Yeah,
the,
they got
picture of Luigi's fucking drawing a man or whatever. Who's that guy that invented the helicopter?
Da Vinci,
Leonardo da Vinci.
and it's called the
Luigi.
Vitruvian Man, I think. And yeah, it's got that on it. It's got our location in the star system.
Yeah, it's got people saying hello in basically every language on Earth. It's pretty
Yeah.
interesting if you go like download it.
Yep. So that may be dying. It's just gonna be another piece of junk floating through
junk.
space. Yeah.
It's all right. At least they won't. At least it won't burn up in Earth's atmosphere like all them fucking Chinese guys are doing with all their spacecraft.
Yeah, dude. Have you seen a picture of all the satellites we like surrounding the Earth?
No.
Let me see if I can find it.
But
It's a
I
real
don't. I actually
picture.
don't want to because I know how much trash we have on Earth, and space trash just makes me sick.
It's not just space trash. This is just satellites.
This is a real picture. This is an animated vision of how many satellites there are in orbit of Earth.
Yeah.
Because there's a big difference between the two, I think.
So here I'm gonna share it to general. Let's see which one. Here, this is a good one. I'm gonna post it to general.
Oh, space junk! Yay!
That is a grossly overestimated animation, I believe, but that's okay.
I think so as well.
There,
Otherwise,
remember,
you wouldn't be able to see out.
so it is over corrected in that in order to show you how big these things are or that they're there, the dot equivalent is bigger than the actual item itself.
Yeah, by a shitload. Because, like, the equivalent satellite in space is about the size of fucking basketball, dude.
Some of them, yeah.
Most of them. You know how much money it takes to fucking send some shit like a fucking huge telescope up there? Fuck loads.
Hold on, how much does it take to launch a car up there?
Yeah.
Car? I don't know. I asked Elon. Dude, can I get the DeLorean? Can I get the DeLorean in space? I want to take it to the moon.
Was it a DeLorean that he actually launched?
No, it's a Sportster.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
and it's got the
watch
Roadster.
satellite
I'm
sitting.
sorry, not a Sportster. It's a Roadster. It's the Tesla two-seater.
If you take the batteries out, the thing doesn't. I mean, if you're just sending the frame,
If you
like,
just send a
No,
fucking
man, it
fat
was
head
a
of
full
it.
car and it had a dummy in it.
there's no way it was the full car. Even I.
Send
Yes.
a fat head of it. It's just a
It is the
plastic
full
decal.
car.
Now I gotta look this up.
Yeah.
No. I remember seeing it. I just don't remember, like, I don't believe that they would set up the full car. Cause every pound worth of stuff, they have to pack, like, or they have to fill the engines up with, like, 200 pounds worth of rocket fuel to launch a pound into space.
Yeah, dude, they got big rockets, man.
So,
That's what
like,
she said.
like,
They sent the fucking International Space Station up there, dude, and that's been there for fucking 30 years. That was in the 90s. Right? Like 90 fucking 6 or some shit was the International Space Station. That's a big motherfucker. It took a lot of rocket launches to get it up there, but that's a big fucking cocksucker that's floating around. Gotta have like 2,000 square foot of living space.
Okay, so the Falcon 9S cost. That was the car that SpaceX threw up there. It cost $30 million to launch that car.
let me
That's
just
chump change.
let me just toss away some money. This will be fun.
Bad baby. Bad baby. The Catch Me Outside girl from fucking Dr. Phil.
Oh,
Made
let's
50
launch
fucking-
her.
Made $53 fucking million selling pictures of her fucking diddle on the internet in 1 year.
She's
Okay?
got-
So launching a fucking car in a space for $30 million is fucking chump change.
Dude,
Chump
nobody
change.
I don't understand how people want to see that.
Yeah.
Like,
You don't have
I
to.
don't. It's just
She-
gonna look blown out.
posted
It's gonna look like a
screenshots.
roast beef sandwich.
She posted. No, dude. She turned 18 day of and launched her fucking OnlyFam.
Yeah, I know. But I don't
Blown
want to
out,
see
maybe.
it.
I don't know.
Like,
Well, 52 million people did.
no, $52 million did. And let's say they
$52
all
million
paid $10.
did. That's still 5.5 million people.
That's a small fraction of the American populace.
It's still enough to launch 1 1/2 Teslas into space.
Well, all right. All right.
Say what you want about it.
I'll be right
But-
back. I need more beer.
Get me one while you're
Kind
at
of
it.
stupid.
Dude, if I could, I would.
You got your cane? Or do you got the little, like, four-way scooter with the
Nah,
tennis
dude.
balls on the leg?
I've been toughing it out. Like, it's not been great, but I can move.
Have you
hit
went
it
to
with
see
a
my
ball
buddy
peen
Brad
hammer
yet?
What? Two people talking at the same time, man.
Go see my buddy Brad.
Maybe.
You
It's
should,
getting
he's pretty good.
better.
I go see him once a month, and he's pretty good.
It doesn't feel like my
Makes me
back
sleep
anymore.
nice.
It just feels like somebody Charlie horsed me in the butt cheek really fucking hard.
Go see a chiropractor.
See, I can stand.
Stretch your hamstring.
Ah, dude, I've been stretching every day. I'll be right back, guys.
Dude, I can't believe Bad Bobby sold her pussy for $52 million.
In a year.
That's crazy.
She probably won't have that good of a year next year, but
No, now everybody's seen it.
she'll still probably make 5 mil.
I mean, you can only once it's so like the girls that sell their virginity, like I get that. You only get to sell it once, and you get the highest bidder, and then you invest the money, and you're set for life. Like I get that, but
Right.
what
I hope they have like a limit on the auction too. You know what I mean? If I was selling my virginity, I have a hard limit on the auction. You know.
Oh yeah. But the just to do OnlyFans and put your vagina out there, like, dude, 52 million is huge. Like, real honestly, she should just disappear now. She's made enough. Even after the taxes, you've made enough to disappear. Like, nobody should hear your name anymore.
She might.
I doubt it. Because she's bad, Bobby.
Probably, yeah. But
Right.
you know, that's right. If we were smart enough, we could have fucking shown pictures of our feet on the internet too. You know what I mean? Made $50 million or whatever.
Dude, I'm not wearing shoes right now. If there was somebody that wanted to give me money for my hairy fucking big toe, go for it.
It still comes down to like that shit's fucking degrading to do mostly.
I mean, maybe. Man, I was looking at my feet.
You get making money on it and everything, but like, dude, why the internet? You know, that's where all the money's getting made. That's like in 50 years, you'll only make money on the internet. You know what I mean? There won't be any money in the world. It'll be all on the web.
Right now, everybody's making their money in China off of it's basically the QVC of America, but they do it online.
Yeah.
And so it's like Etsy and the Home Shopping Network had like a bastardized kid, and that is how they're making all their money. And Instagram and Meta have already talked about how they're going to capitalize that on America. And it's going to happen. Like, there's no doubt in my mind.
They're going to be hard pressed to do better than Alibaba did. All right, I bought my fucking batteries on Alibaba.
America's never going to beat that. We only have a third of the population.
Personalized man from Doyangyang Batteries contacts me
right
every 3 months.
Yeah.
And asks me if I need more batteries. Every 3 months, this personal fucking guy who is like extremely responsive. I was like, yo, I knew this was going to be less than container load shipping on fucking sea freight. And I expected it to take 8 weeks. And it was the 9th week. And I talked to him like, this is what I expected. And he's like, oh, yeah, let me look up. He's like, it's in San Francisco, waiting to unload. I'm like, okay, thank you. Yang, or whatever the fuck his name was. It was sick. I was like, cool. I'm getting fucking pure wholesale price.
Yeah.
Absolutely wholesale price in small quantities.
Yeah, that's how I get that's how I got my solar panels. That company that I sent you the link to, that's all they do is broker with China. Like straight out of the LA port. Like if you wanted if you wanted to install solar over here, there is enough between you and I. There is enough information had between the two of us to get batteries and solar panels all at wholesale by container loads at like 1/10 of the price.
Right. Containers a lot though.
It's crazy.
Containers a shitload of stock.
The problem is this. It's all of the legalese bullshit in America that you have to have. It's the insurance, and you have to be a licensed electrician, and you have to have it's a ridiculous amount.
We got rules. We got rules.
Right. But my shit in my yard works great.
They'll just send you shit. They love sending you shit. They're like, here, take this shit. Please have some of my shit.
Yeah.
I made it. For you.
You.
And they filled it with lead.
No, the stuff works. Like that's
Cobalt, lithium.
No.
that is the part
There was
that
a.
blows me away. All of the stuff works.
Wait, you're talking about stuff from China, right?
From Alibaba,
Yeah. No, there was a huge thing. I don't know if it was specifically Alibaba, but there was a huge thing probably, I want to say 10 years ago, where China was shipping us stuff and the paint they were using on like 90% of it was filled with lead. It's
Yeah.
lead-based paint. Everybody's like, "Ah, what the hell, man?"
I'm not gonna lie, Alibaba was set up and is set up to be more of a wholesale thing, but they let anybody use it.
They do.
It's
A lot of the
it is much more business oriented than
yeah, I so
end sale. It's like they're like, yeah, let's do business, guys.
well no,
Business.
that's so we make a beer line cleaner and we use Alibaba for a bunch of our parts. Like the 4 lights that go on the front, they're button lights, and so they've got like we order literally 1,000 of them at a time. It's like, oh, we got to build 1,000 machines. Okay, so we need 1,001 buttons, 1,002 buttons, 1,000 rinse buttons, 1,000 stop buttons, and we just go to them and be like, hey, we just want to reorder what we did, but we got samples first. You know, we had to order
Right.
like 10 samples of each. And we're like, okay, yeah,
They're
this,
super accommodating.
yeah, like we get a bunch of our
Even
sensors, our flow meters, like all this shit from Alibaba.
so, like even I only used it for my batteries, but even for very very small purchases, they're super. They're like, this might lead to a very large purchase, so
Yeah.
let me take care of this man. Like, it's like, thanks, dude. Cool.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool. They have AliExpress, which I don't like. I
No.
looked at it, and
Yeah.
AliExpress is like the shit version Amazon of fucking Alibaba. It's like, no,
It's the
I
onesie.
don't
It's
want
where you get
that.
the onesie twosies, and you don't feel, you're gonna
Yeah,
pay
it's like,
six
here's the
dollars and wait
seconds.
6 weeks.
Right. Here's like the factory seconds that we're not giving to our big money customers. They're marked up, and they still take 9 weeks to get to you because we ship them in a fucking container.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, please don't do AliExpress.
Yeah.
Yeah, them fucking Chinese people, man, they make a lot of shit.
They do. They're having
We
trouble
probably
right
should
now
have more.
because they're having a real bad time right now because they've shut down due to COVID. Like pure lockdown. You're not allowed to leave your house. Kind of
Yeah.
lockdowns in like 3 of the major
Yeah,
production centers.
old school COVID lockdowns.
Mm-hmm. Don't leave your house unless you have to. Like, and even then, we're not really gonna let you leave. We'll send you your groceries. Kind of bullshit. So,
Yeah.
but AliExpress, yeah, man, or Alibaba, they're great.
They're pretty good, dude. I mean, I don't know if I'd buy like car parts or anything, but
Yeah.
anything electronic, anything at all electronic. These guys have it fucking figured out.
Mhm.
Almost every electronic component I bought in the last 10 years is 100% fucking made in China.
Mhm.
There's like a plethora of little stupid things I've had to buy, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yup. Unfortunately.
I'm sure you have more experience with that, but
Yeah, I've had to deal. Yeah, it's. Oh my god, dude. I got so many sites for like electronic shit. Depending on what you need, check out mpja.com.
MPJA.
Yeah, Marlon P. Jones Associates. They got a bunch of cool shit for cheap.
The thing I will say about Alibaba is it is incredibly difficult to navigate and figure out who is the one that is good.
Mhm.
It is immensely hard to be like, this is the part I want, and there's like 98 sellers, and you're like, there's like 7,000 reviews for all of them. They're all good, and you're like, which one of these fucking companies is the good one?
Mhm. Which is
I
one of
don't
these is the
know.
one who actually makes it? Because all they
Do
do,
you guys-
it's like,
Right.
it's drop shipping. They're like probably all contacting each other. It's really just one guy in his basement, right? Being
Right.
like, I got a bunch of shit to sell.
All right, this company's fucking avatar is a Chinese flag. This company's avatar is a Chinese flag. This company's avatar is a Chinese flag. This company has a logo. Like, check them out. Talk to their sales rep.
Mm-hmm. But you can't talk to the sales rep. You got to send a message and wait 24 hours because our nighttime is their daytime.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I've had to do that a couple of times because some of our PCB manufacturers, the guys who like actually make our printed circuit boards, are in China, and there's been a couple of projects where I've needed to make sure that like files got swapped or certain things happened the right way. And I've
Right.
had to be up until like 2 a.m. Like just sitting at my computer waiting for him to come online.
Like, yo, Young, fucking get into the office, buddy.
Yeah, yeah. Or I've had to wait for like a response for them, so I've had to be up till 2 a.m. and oh, the guy's gotten into work, but he hasn't gotten to my email yet, and it's like, fuck, just
I know
killing
you
me.
made 400 of my 1,000 order, but you need to fucking cancel those ones and fix it.
Mhm.
Sent you this email 2 days ago at fucking 3:30 in the morning your time. You should have figured it out.
Yep, pretty much. And now it's to the
International business, baby.
it was originally like I was dealing with one guy and I knew I was dealing with one guy because you can tell somebody by their writing style, like how they write an email, all that kind of crap. And then it's like the person I contacted, it's really an email for like 37 people now.
Yep.
And so
Your form
anybody,
letter.
yeah, anybody under the because the company grew. And so it's like I'm not really contacting Hackett anymore. I'm contacting Hackett Group, which is like 300 people. And so I'll
Right.
get emails.
Hack it client list.
Yeah,
.exe.
yeah. And
Form
so
letter.
it's
Yep.
so I'll get emails and I'm like, this isn't you. So, but yeah, man, I'll pay like when I get boards from China, I'll pay like $1, $2 a board, and I'll get it in a week, and it'll cost me $50. Right,
Oh,
and
they
that
send
You
it
can get
air.
a
They send it
board
air for you
delivered
because
from
they're light.
China in a week.
yeah, not just the printed circuit board. So you've seen the green
They're
boards I
light.
have.
They'll send them on fucking planes. They will.
Yeah, they
If
do.
if shit's light, they'll send it on a plane.
Huh.
DHL.
Well, that explains it because what I buy from China is full containers, and it's 4 months.
Yeah. Nope. I get printed circuit boards in about a week, week and a half. Um.
Dang.
Yeah. But they'll cost me, $50 total with shipping and everything else. That's all included. And when I order from an American company, because we try and support Americans, try. The problem is for those same boards delivered in the same amount of time, it's 3 times the price.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm sorry, we're in a business where we're literally watching nickels and dimes. Like sometimes we get down to the pennies. Like, well, is this capacitor cheaper in thousands? Well, if it is, then it's 0.005 cents cheaper. Well, we're gonna buy a million of them, so that adds up. And I fuck.
You know who we have to blame for that?
Who?
Goddamn government.
So I've tried to explain this to my company, and my company won't hear it. I believe that the more you buy, the more you should pay. I think it should be the opposite of what capitalism is. I think if you buy one, it should be the cheapest you could buy. It should be like the cheapest thing on the market. If you buy one, it should be like cost. Just sell it to you. If you want to buy 1,000 of them, it should be like 30% markup. Because here's the deal. I understand that when you buy in bulk, you generally get it cheaper. But that is because we've never put any emphasis on what it actually costs. And so if we did it the other way, then it would be a lot better because then you wouldn't snuff out the little guy. Like, monopolies wouldn't matter because you wouldn't snuff out the little guy. The little
Um,
guy would actually buy it cheaper than you. And then his sales would increase, and he would be paying the same thing as the big guy.
okay, so here's my perspective on that.
That puts a big wrench into like growth of an operation.
Well,
It
no,
doesn't.
Like
The
big,
bigger you
big
get, the
time.
more money everybody makes.
so I can understand why bulk is cheaper, and I'll explain it to you from my perspective. Okay.
Okay?
I've got to build the board that goes into this.
That's right.
Okay? So I go around, I get the files I need. I have to now set up the machine. I set up the machine, I spend let's say it's 8 hours setting up the machine, getting the parts, loading them in, loading the file, getting the board set up as a profile into the machine. That
Right.
costs me time.
Yes, it does.
I run the first board. Okay? That one
Yeah.
board cost me 8 hours, and the 2 minutes it cost me to run it through the machine.
Right.
The second board cost me 2 minutes. So
Right.
if I were to average it out, it now comes out to 4 hours per board, or 4 hours and 2 minutes per board.
That's right.
I run a third one.
Uh-huh.
Third one costs me 2 hours, blah 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 blah.
Yes,
So
incrementally less, exponentially every time you make one. Yes. You're
exactly.
right.
And so when
But that's not why it's cheaper. The reason that it's cheaper is because you can forecast off of it. And not you, but your supplier. Your supplier can say, oh, look, Bill's going to need 5,000 of this board, so we can just go ahead and make them and sit on them until he needs them. And so that's why it's cheaper, because they can forecast. I understand it because I buy stuff by container loads every day. The problem with it is when you give discounts based on volume, you set everyone else up to fail. Because
Yeah, but you set yourself up to succeed, because if you have a facility that can pump out things at a certain rate, what you want to do is be able to fill those orders at those rates, and you will give a discount to continue having the facility run at full bore. You'll give a discount to people who are purchasing more, and the only way you can get to those size facilities is by having some form of graduated structure. You're not going to doing it hand to hand. This is like the world we live in. Right?
well,
You're not
so
going to
my
do it hand to
argument,
hand. You wouldn't have a facility that big. You wouldn't need one because you'd be doing it with your neighbors. We don't live in that world.
my argument is, if I think what it ends up boiling down to is, so okay.
Goodwill
in
between
most
men.
businesses,
Yeah, good luck with it.
well, in most businesses, what people sell is exactly the same between manufacturers. I mean, don't get me wrong, like in microchip world, an AMD versus an Intel processor, they're a little different, but they accomplish the same job.
They came from the same slave labor Shenzhen factory, right?
Right.
Same
So
factory.
one goes in long ways, one goes in square. It's whatever. Now, here's the deal though. The reason they offer, and I mean all the way at the very top, the reason they offer the discount is because the factory can forecast the workload, and so they can then decide that it only takes a 5% margin in order to run the whole thing. But that's the wrong way to look at it. And that's the way the world has looked at mass produced things for so long, is we already have all the products that are the same. So the answer is, don't give the discount away to the person buying the most. Give the discount away to the guy buying the least. The person that's buying the most already doesn't care. They have the volume of sales that they can pay more and it won't matter. Apple charges $1,400 a phone. Like we're setting this thing up so that the biggest get richer instead of the other way around. And
Well, who's
I
we and
could be
who's
wrong.
setting it up?
I could be
Who's
wrong.
we and who's setting it up?
I mean,
Stock market politicians? Probably, yeah.
no. All I can do is talk from my experience in the whole situation.
Talking about a bunch of masks, faces behind a fucking board that says all we need is profit, right? That's the stock market. That's what it boils down to. It's not a mom and pop company. It's not a
Right.
company that has values. It's a company that's based on delivering profits to a shareholder who needs to buy in so they can have surplus debt to make their company function more. It's the goddamn stock market. And behind that is also politicians, because they're the ones that carry the fucking hammer that can lay the law down on the big companies, right? So, like, the whole world view that you want is peace and happiness and goodwill between men, but it's not going to happen because we have to destroy the power structures that exist in the world. Again, it's coming time. It happens every couple hundred years. It happens in every country every couple hundred years. America's time is coming. We got to kill them all.
See, and like I said, it's for me, it's not even a greed thing. It's not a politician thing. It's not a some I want to get rich thing. It is
It's
literally
waters flow in one direction.
no. It is literally if I sell one, it costs me literally this amount of money to get
Right, but
you
if you
one.
sell,
But if I sell
what Russ is
two,
getting at, if you sell one to a guy who is trying to get started and wants to pump your product, you will sell more to that guy because he is willing to do the extra to grow his business, and you gave him a fair and honest shot at growing his business by providing him a discount over a larger customer.
Yeah.
but
And
see,
I understand that
it's
completely,
not
but
a.
that is not the way business works,
It's
because the water flows one direction.
hold on, hold on, hold on. It's not a discount. That's what I think you're maybe misconstruing. It's not a discount. I'm not giving the guy a discount. If I build one board, it takes and run it through the oven, it takes me 8 hours and 2 minutes.
Yeah, but if you build 1,000 boards and you have 400 different people buying the same board, does it matter to you what you sell the board for to each person?
No.
Not as much, right?
It doesn't matter who I sell it to. I don't care. If you buy 200 boards, it's the
Right,
time
but
for setup.
will you give somebody who's buying 200 boards a discount based on buying 200 boards so you can continue operating towards max
Bill-
capacity?
All right. So,
That's how a lot of
Bill,
business
I
works.
understand what you're saying, 100%, because you have hours involved in setup
Yes.
and design. In my business, I don't have that. In
He sells
most
a
of the
commodity. It's
Chinese
widely available across the
manufacturing,
entire
they
earth.
don't have that. In Chinese manufacturing, they only have bulk. In two-step distribution, I only have bulk. Like, that's all I do. Is I broker large amounts and then I sell it in smaller amounts. Okay? So the reason that and most of this country is run on two-step distribution. Even Amazon's run on two-step distribution. That is his whole business model. Okay? So the problem is, and Jeff Bezos figured it out. Jeff Bezos figured out the same thing that I'm saying. I'm going to sell you this product at the exact same price regardless of the quantity that I sell it to you. I don't care. I don't care if you buy one or I don't care if you buy 5,000. Like, you're going to pay, your $140 a year plus, $9 for the product, whatever.
Bless you.
And so
Bless you.
I just think that the quantity breaks that are set up in America, which is what continues to feed the rich.
They run all the way down to toilet paper. Think about when you buy toilet paper.
I know. I think one roll
Think
of
about
toilet
when you
paper
buy
should be like
alcohol.
8 cents. And I think a 24-pack to feed a family of 20 should be like $45. Because I think it should work the other direction. I think it should be consumption-based and not convenience-based. I think if we price things by consumption, we would be way better off as a populace in the world.
Based on personal consumption, sliding scale based on your personal consumption.
No, based on consumption. I don't care if it's personal or business. You should pay more the more you consume.
Well, that would certainly serve to limit the growth.
No, it
Of
makes
urban areas.
everything else grow. That's the most amazing part about it. It makes everything else grow because everybody else buys it cheaper. The biggest among you would not be the biggest among you anymore.
Okay. Sorry, my brain's been turning, and so trying to comprehend and find an argument to this. Not because I don't believe in it, but just because I have to have an argument to it. Okay. What is your theory behind? Okay, so normally, if I go into the grocery store and I buy a 24 pack of toilet paper, it costs me, let's name a number, $20. $1 a roll.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Nice round figures.
Right.
You're saying if I go to the same shelf, pretty much the same shelf, and I pull one roll of toilet paper off,
right.
that one roll is going to be labeled on the shelf as 80 cents.
Or 60 cents. Yeah.
What's to stop me from grabbing 60 rolls? And just paying at the checkout for the 60 rolls. But it rings up as
a whole lot of centralized planning to make sure you can't do that.
No, not even. It's nice and easy. If you go up to the cash register, we don't bill things at the cash register the way we currently do. If you go to the cash register and you buy one item and it swipes and the quantity is 1, you get charged a price. And if you swipe the same item 60 fucking times,
price, though?
Each time you swipe it, the price goes up.
Who decides that formula and who decides that price? Because if it's not the manufacturer on their own volition, then I think you're dead wrong.
Manufacturer doesn't decide the price on anything. I have never bought anything direct from a manufacturer.
Well, of course not. That's a whole supply chain, right? But
right.
Who is supplying the price to the customer? Who's making sure that the customer that buys the least pays the least?
Well, so that's the kicker with two-step distribution, and that is the exact business.
I'm talking in a hypothetical world here where this system is implemented, where people that buy less.
Talking about.
Yeah, but who controls it?
Why do you need someone to control it?
Where is the incentive for it to happen? You're trying to portray this hypothetical world. How exactly do you get there?
I'm not.
What provides that world to be a good place, right?
I'm not portraying it as a hypothetical world. I am literally saying that anyone could start
that way. Yeah, and they would go out of business pretty much immediately.
Okay.
Well, okay, so my thought comes to a family.
All right.
Okay. Christy and I are going to we'll split one ham steak per week.
Right.
Right? We'll have it on a Wednesday night. It's our Wednesday night dinner. One ham steak per week.
That's right.
You have a family that has mom and dad and 2 kids. They're going to consume 2 ham steaks.
Yeah.
And because they consume more, they get charged more.
Correct. Now,
Yeah.
let's
And they have one breadwinner and 2 extra mouths to feed.
let's talk about it
Instead of
from
2.
another perspective. Let's say that they have 7 kids. I have a good buddy that has 7 children.
Mm-hmm.
My buddy doesn't buy anything at the grocery store because he figured it out. He now buys a whole hog and a half cow every year. So they don't go out specially looking for cuts. He buys his meat directly from the manufacturer, from the farm.
And you're
That's what he
saying,
does.
and so according to your system, because it's a one-party system, or a direct from manufacturer system, rather than a two-party system where.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying, because I'm talking on all facets. The more you buy, the more you should pay. Because I think our monetary system is fucked because it is not consumption based. So if you want, like, Bill, let's look at it like this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you go to the store and you're a single man and you want one filet mignon.
Mm-hmm.
You just want one. Okay? So you go to the grocery store and they have an entire rack of filet mignon. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, he had to buy it in bulk because there's really only about 12 pounds of filet mignon on an entire cow. All right? So basically, the grocery store had to buy an entire cow to get 12 pounds of filet.
Mm-hmm.
And you are going to pick the best one. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, he has to cover all of that overhead to sell you one. That's the system that we're in right now. Okay? Where you could go to the restaurant, you could go to Outback and get that same filet cooked for you, plates cleaned and everything, for less than you could buy it at the grocery store. That's a messed up situation. That's the world we live in right now.
Okay.
I think when you go out to eat, that filet mignon should be like 4 or 5 times the price because they're buying it in bulk and they're requiring them to have it fresh every single day. Where if you decide to go to the grocery store, you may walk in and they may not have any filet because they didn't get any that week. But when they do, you should be able to get it for what it, really costs. The same thing that Outback's getting it for, and even though they buy 10,000 pounds of it a day. Because I think it should be based on consumption. I think Outback should pay for what they actually consume and not just get the discounts off of the government's handouts for the subsidies on corn and hay. I think you as a person should get that.
You're saying there should be an inverse relationship to consumption and price.
That is correct. 100%.
So you consume nothing and you pay nothing.
That is right.
You own nothing and you're happy.
No. I own a lot. I own a lot. I consume next to nothing, but I also pay next to nothing. But the things that I have to go buy are more expensive because I have to buy them through all of these chains.
Yeah. I mean, I hear you. I think the way that you want it to work isn't a very functional way for the world to work. Not in its present state and not in any type of near future whatsoever. Not even remotely. We've had this conversation quite a few times.
When we end this live stream, I will tell you about a real life situation that I've been testing for the last year. It's different and works.
Okay.
But it's 100% based on supply and demand. Like, it's wild.
All right, you want to end it?
Are we there already?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, it is
9:60.
9:16.
It's been about an
Yeah,
hour.
let's end the live stream so I can tell you about something I'm doing that I can't admit online.
All right, bye. Everybody have a